Welcome back, everybody. Now, we will start our second session. It's all about impact. This session is very close to our hearts. It's volunteering, giving your time, giving your skills, giving your energy to something greater than yourself. It's what builds stronger communities and more compassionate futures. To open this session, please welcome a visionary in human rights and social responsibility, His Excellency Maqsood Cruz, Chairperson of the National Human Rights Institution. He's been a forefront of promoting a culture of dignity, inclusion, and empathy, not just in the UAE, but globally. Let's hear from him how volunteerism can shape a just and connect world. You're most welcome, Your Excellency.
There is nothing more exciting or rewarding than being the presence of these brilliant young minds and the future leaders of tomorrow, that is all of you. You see, I have a question to begin with, and it's a simple one. What is this? Basically, it's a rock. No matter how this rock thinks it's small, insignificant, meaningless, or have no purpose in life, the greatest mountain of all mountains, no matter how big or magnificent that mountain is, it is nothing but a total sum of different small rocks that build that mountain. And when we talk about volunteering, that is exactly what we're talking about. How each and every one of you is part of this greater good, being part of this wonderful dynamic and taking things to the next level. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the President of the United Arab Emirates, have declared the year 2025 to be the year of community, meaning how we all can connect, how we're all part of a greater good, and understanding that each and every one of us is part of this wonderful endeavor. I have 3 thoughts that I would like to share with you today. Thought number 1, becoming a leader. When I ask anyone a simple question such as, are leaders born or made? Usually there are 3 possible answers. Some would say leaders are born. They have to be tall, they have to be dark, they have to have magnificent voice, they can influence others. Some would say leaders are made. They go through a set of skills, certain training, certain mentoring, certain guiding, where they emerge as the leaders they're supposed to be. And some are indifferent. They would say probably both, or we don't really care. You see, whether you believe leaders are born, they have certain set of attributes naturally built in, or you think leaders are made, they have to go through certain process of qualification and improvement in what they do. To be very honest with you, this is a misleading question. The real question is, do you want to lead? You see, leadership is about decision, is about choice. In a certain moment, in a certain context, you decide that you lead or you don't. You decide to move forward or stand still. Volunteering is part of your sense of leadership, where you guide, where you thrive, where you grow, and you help others to grow with you to a common vision, a direction that is set, a meaning that you're trying to find. Thought number 2, team spirit. No matter how great as a leader you might be, or how fantastic as a leader you are, the truth is this: no single leader can operate on themselves. You can't do everything on your own. You have to operate, you have to work, you have to be part of a group. You need to have that ongoing dynamic. You need to build a team. You need to communicate. You need to resolve any conflict, any situation, any issues, and therefore be able to move forward with all of that. And the spirit of a team within volunteering is an integral part of what volunteering is all about. Hand in hand, shoulders by shoulders, and people move forward with their endeavor, with their views, but also seeing the difference they can make. You will need to find your interest. What actually ignites you? What kind of volunteering you want to do? But having that passion alone is not enough. Being a leader in the field is not enough. What you also need to always acknowledge, always realize that you are part of other groups, those who support you, who help you, those who you help and support, and therefore that sort of group effort, that teamwork, that spirit is what drives true volunteering, because at the end of the day, you are trying to make a difference in people's lives, in people's thinking, but also making sure that we have a better world before we started our volunteering. Thought number 3, make your own luck. You see, there's a definition of luck that I personally endorse. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So preparation requires that you are ready, that you go through a certain process of training, of reading, of engaging, of inspiration, ongoing learning for you to be ready. So when the opportunity presents itself, you can grab it and you can take it to the next level. But what if opportunity does not present itself at any given moment? Well, because you are prepared, you can create the opportunity. And volunteering, in many, many ways, is not a matter of luck. It's not a coincidence. It's not something that happens by accident. In fact, volunteering is that deliberate process of you wanting to make a difference. Luck plays a very little role, but preparation, readiness, being able to be mentally resilient, psychologically ready, emotionally stable and mature, but also knowing that volunteering can come with challenges, can come with difficulties, and sometimes these challenges will continue to shape who you are, create the opportunity that you need, and make the difference that you hope to achieve. Therefore, preparation is the key word in every volunteering work and everything that we need to do as we move forward with our endeavor. I want to leave you with a final thought. Every process, every thinking, every something that we imagine or we want to do starts with an idea. And this idea triggers a certain emotional response, and that emotional response triggers the behavior that you do. So volunteering is not just a moment of spark, but it's a process that starts with the idea that I want to make a difference. I want to inspire. I want to make a change. I need to be part of something greater than who I am, and also knowing that I have that impact and that influence. That thought, that idea will excite you, will make you feel hopeful, will make you want to do more. Sometimes you'll be frustrated. Sometimes you'll be disappointed. Sometimes you try to inspire others to join you to become part of that volunteering process, but they will bail out on you. They'll say, thank you, I have something else I would like to do. That should not discourage you, that should not stop you from moving forward with your ideas and your thoughts. And once you have that clarity at the emotional level, this is where action begins. Your behavior, where you actually decide, okay, I'm going to join this volunteering activity. I want to be part of a greater cause. I want to be part of something that is very important. You would plan, you would schedule, you would put time and effort. You have a busy schedule, you have a lot of demands that you do on all levels, yet you make that one important decision where you donate, where you volunteer some of your time, some of your commitment, some of your efforts towards that greater goal where you need to go. Action is the most important element, because sometimes if you don't act, if you don't decide, decisions will be made for you, and action will be taken out of the context, and therefore it will be a missed opportunity. At the end of the day, you are the final decision. You determine what kind of a person you want. Do you want to be someone who's not part of that great endeavor of making a difference and change in people's lives, bailing out on volunteering, or not wanting to be bothered? Or actually, you want to lead, and you want to have an influence, and you want to have an impact? That starts with you, and with you is how the future will begin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And now we're moving towards someone very special. At just 12 years old, he's making history today as the youngest TEDx speaker at TEDxKhalifa bin Zayed Al Awal Youth. He's passionate, he's committed, and he's a true proof that you're never too young to make a difference. Let's have a very warm welcome to Rashed Anwar Al-Alawi.
Good morning, superheroes. Yes, I said superheroes, because today I'll be talking about the superpower that each and every one of you already has. It doesn't shoot lasers or help you fly, sorry, but it does have the power to change the world around you. It's called volunteering. I know, you were expecting something with a cape, but hear me out. Volunteering is when you give your time, energy, and skills to help others without expecting anything in return. No money, no pizza, not even extra Wi-Fi. So why do people do it? Because it feels amazing. It makes a difference. And believe it or not, it's fun. Let me tell you a story. One day, I decided to go volunteer on the beach. I was so excited to save the turtles and be a hero. Believe it or not, 5 minutes in, I was covered in seaweed, chasing a plastic bag like it had a personal vendetta. But at the end, when my team and I looked at the beach, we said, whoa, we did that. That's the power of volunteering. Even small actions create big impacts. I know, you don't need to be bitten by a radioactive spider to make a difference. Just maybe you go to the beach, wear sunscreen the next time. Trust me. Volunteering teaches us empathy, teamwork, and leadership. It shows us that we are something bigger than ourselves. And the coolest part? You don't have to wait until you are an adult. You can start right now, like literally, after school or during. I won't tell you. Let me tell you about Ahmed, a 13-year-old who started tutoring kids for free. His reason? Because I wish someone had helped me when I was younger. That's true leadership right there. Helping others is woven into our values. Compassion, unity, responsibility, respect, generosity. So when you volunteer, you're not just doing a good deed, you're continuing a legacy. You're living the true Emirati spirit. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what if I'm too busy? I get it, homework, exams, TikTok dances, it's a lot. But here's the good news. Volunteering doesn't have to take hours or be super serious. You could help your siblings with their homework, even though they keep saying you're wrong every 5 seconds. Teach your grandma how to use emojis, that's important. Help organize your school library. Bonus points if you can find a book from 1995. It all counts. You know who else volunteers? Leaders. Every great leader has a heart for service. As John C. Maxwell once said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. When you volunteer, you do all three. You see a problem, take action, and inspire others to do the same. And remember, you don't need a title to be a leader. You just need courage, compassion, and commitment. There's a girl in Dubai who started a campaign collecting clothes for workers during winter. A boy in Ras Al Khaimah created art pieces and sold them to raise money for charities. These were young students just like you. They didn't wait for permission. They saw a need and they acted. They weren't superheroes, but became heroes to someone. Now, here's the sciencey part of it. Did you know volunteering releases something in your brain called dopamine? So every time you volunteer, your brain literally gives you a high five. Can you imagine? It's like free therapy without the awkward couch. So, what can you do right here in school? Organize a cleanup day, help teachers with classroom duties, start a kindness wall, volunteer at school events, and in your community, help at animal shelters, read to children at libraries, and join environmental campaigns. Start small, dream big. Now, take a look at this image. This is more than a leader. This is a reminder. When His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan speaks about volunteering, he's not just encouraging us, he's honoring a legacy. Volunteering is the core in our society. It reflects our deep-rooted traditions of giving and solidarity. Every volunteer contributes to building a stronger and more compassionate nation. This quote isn't just powerful, it's personal. You're becoming part of something bigger than yourself, something truly Emirati. So when you volunteer, you're not just doing a good deed. You're living the values our leaders have taught us. You're shaping the future that they dreamed of, and that we now get to create. So, if you leave here today and start helping others, remember, you may not have a cape, but someone, somewhere, will always call you their hero. Thank you, superheroes.
Thank you, superhero. Now let's move to another superpower, this time with a musical break with Mr. David and Fatima, side by side. Thank you.
In the journey of life, we stumble and fall, lost and alone, feeling so small. Through the darkness, a light will gleam. In a friendship true, strength redeem. Through ups and downs, navigating the tide, with friends by side, we always rise. Through thick and thin, they hold our hand. Together we conquer, a united band. Life's plot twist when skies turn gray. Friends stand strong, come what may. Lift us up when feeling low. Love and support help us grow. Side by side, never apart, knowing this will never depart. Friendship's melody, always clear, a tune of closeness that we hold dear. When the world seems cold and you're feeling the blue, friends bring warmth and help us through. With open hearts, they lend an ear. In their presence there's nothing to fear. Life's plot twist when skies turn gray. Friends stand strong, come what may. Lift us up when feeling low. Love and support help us grow. Side by side, never apart, knowing this will never depart. Friendship's melody, always clear, a tune of closeness that we hold dear. Through season, friendships grow like rivers endlessly flow, with laughter and dreams to chase, together a perfect place, side by side, never apart, knowing this will never depart. Friendship's melody, always clear, a tune of closeness that we hold dear, side by side.
Thank you, David and Fatma. From discovering her purpose to finding confidence and service, her story reminds us that when we give, we receive even more. Let's welcome on stage Shamsa al-Mansouri.
دقيقة قبل لا نبدأ خلوني أفهمكم شيء. أنا هم جاي أعطيكم محاضرة أو أعطيكم موضوع، لا جاي أسولف وياكم من قلبي عن شيء غير حياتي وغيرني 180 درجة، وبيغيركم أنتوا وحياتكم من اليوم بإذن الله. التطوع. وياكم بنت من دار زايد، شمسة المنصوري. تعرفون أنا ما تعلمت التطوع من كتاب، تعلمته من أمي وأبوي. منو فيكم متطوع من قبل؟ ما شاء الله. واللي ما تطوع لا تحاتي. اليوم يمكن، لا اليوم مو بيمكن، اليوم أكيد بنفتح باب جديد في حياتك. أول مرة تطوعت كنت في فعالية خارج المدرسة مع فريق المتطوعين الكبار. كان الجو مشحون، الكل يشتغل يجهز يوزع. أنا بصراحة ما كنت عارفة شيء أو وين أروح. تميت واقفة لين شفت حرمة عودة في السن تحاول تشيل كرتون وايد ثقيل. ركضت صوبها وساعدتها، ابتسمت لي قالت لي الله يرضى عليك يا بنيتي وما قصرتي. هالكلمة حسيت كأني خذيت جايزة، ومن يومها فهمت أن التطوع مو بلازم يكون شيء كبير، أحيانا بس تكونين حاضرة وتساعدين من قلبك. كانت بداية بسيطة بس فتحت لي أبواب كبيرة، ومن هناك بدأت رحلتي في عالم العطاء. نحن في الإمارات التطوع في دمنا، تربينا نشوف أهلنا يساعدون يعطون بدون انتظار مقابل. الشيخ زايد رحمة الله عليه قال العمل الخيري أحد أسس بناء الوطن. التطوع عندنا مو بس حملة ولا توقيع حضور، هو حب، هو ولاء، هو مسؤولية. في الهلال الأحمر، في مبادرات الحدائق، في فعاليات مثل إكسبو، كنا نشتغل من قلب. بس خلنا نكون صريحين شوي، منو فيكم حس في يوم من الأيام أنه ما يروم يغير شيء بس لأنه شخص واحد؟ أنا كنت هالشخص، لين اكتشفت أن حتى القطرة تتجمع وتصير نهر، وكل يد ممدودة ترفع. خلونا نسوي شيء بسيط، لفوا صوب الشخص اللي حولكم يمين أو يسار وبس ابتسموا. شفتوا؟ حتى الابتسامة تعتبر تطوع، وهاللحظة لحظة خير. في مرة اشتغلت مع أصحاب الهمم في ورشة بسيطة. طفل صغير كان ما يرمس، بس يوم رسم صورة كتب كلمة شكرا. أنا ما نسيت هالكلمة لين اليوم. وفي أزمة كورونا اشتغلت مع فريق دعم مجتمعي. شفنا كيف الناس تحتاج الحضور، تحتاج الحنان، تحتاج الكلمة، تحتاج الحضور، تحتاج الحنان. وأدركت أن التطوع مو بس يغير المجتمع، ويغيرنا نحن من الداخل. تخيلوا وياي أحيانا أنكم واقفين وقدامكم ملايين من كبار السن واليهال وحتى الشباب، وكلهم بدون استثناء مادين أياديهم لكم. بس هم أحيانا ما يطلبون منكم شيء، بس يطلبون كلمة طيبة، وحتى هالكلمة تعتبر تطوع. أحيت في يوم من الأيام يوم كان عمري 7 سنوات، شفت أمي وأبوي سايرين الجمعية وأكيد نشبت وياهم. المهم يوم وصلنا أشوفهم ياسين ياخذون ماي وعصاير وهالسوالف بكميات وايد عودة. سألتهم حق شو ها كله؟ قالوا لي يوم برد البيت بتعرفين. وطول الدرب أسأل روحي حق شو ها كله؟ نحن شي وايد في البيت. يوم وصلنا تعشينا كانوا أشوفهم ياسين يحطون الأكل الزايد في صحون. رديت سألتهم نفس السؤال يدور في بالي، حق شو ها كله؟ قالوا لي ها حق العمال اللي برا، وترى الخير دايم يرد. أنا اليوم واقفة قدامكم بس كمتطوعة، أنا قائدة متطوعين في هيئة المساهمات المجتمعية معاً. أنا إنسانة تغيرت، وأنتي وكلكم ترومون تبدؤون من اليوم. ساعدوا في البيت، شاركوا في البيئة، ساعدوا في المستشفى، كل مكان فيه مجال للخير. لا تستصغرون فعل الخير مهما كان بسيط. نحن بنات وعيال زايد، والتطوع في قلوبنا. نبادر نعطي بدون انتظار مقابل، ونرسم الأثر. فلا تتريون الفرصة، اصنعوها، ولا تقولون عقب، ابدوا من الحين. لأن الخير شارات مامي وأبوي قالوا دايم يرد. لا خلا منكم، نخليكم على خير. شكرا من القلب يا عيال زايد.
Thank you, Shamsa, for showing us that transformation starts with a very single step and a giving heart. And now, to close this powerful session, we welcome someone who built her career around service. Ms. Faiza is a dedicated social worker and a leader in community service, helping families, supporting youth, and empowering change every single day. She's here to share real stories from the field. Let's give her a very warm welcome.
Hello, everyone. At the end of January, the President announced 2025 to be the Year of Community, and he tasked us with three things. First, to unite as people and strengthen our social bonds. Second, to grow as individuals and communities. Third and last, to contribute to our society. But how can we achieve all these things? And how do we answer his call to action? There is one way where you can do all these things at once, and that is through volunteering. Last year, during Ramadan, my friend invited me to this initiative called Ni'ma. I said okay, and we went. And once we got there, there was these long tables of vegetables, and we basically had to pack them into boxes for families in need. So I placed myself here next to the nice vegetables, because at the end there were tomatoes, and I absolutely hate tomatoes. I despise them. So I start packing my boxes and passing them on to the tomato person. I pack another box and send it over. But then the boxes start piling up, and I had to make a great sacrifice for the sake of the mission and become a tomato person. It was very stressful and gross, but it was fun. And I made a lot of connections that day, even with tomatoes. And that is the first thing that volunteering offers you, connections beyond existing relationships. You don't have to make new friends. It could be simple conversations. The spirit of solidarity that you experience when you're with people working towards the same cause. And research in psychology, where they looked at why people do what they do and motivation, they came up with self-determination theory. And they looked at there are three basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and connection. Our connections make a lasting impact on people. And it's people who make us do what we would like to do. It's true that Ni'ma had a very noble cause, but I only went because of my friend. And I kept going because of all the wonderful people that I met there. And I've actually had someone tell me, oh, I only showed up because you did. And you could be that person that has an impact on people like that. But how do you even grow to be that person? Which takes us to the second point. The second time I went volunteering, I was on my own. I signed up for the book fair on the website, and they added us to a WhatsApp group, and then there was nothing. So on the day of the book fair, I panic. I know nothing, I don't know where to go, I don't even know what's the parking situation. But luckily for me, I had therapy that day, so I told my therapist of my dilemma. And she said, just go. And that was baffling to me. Like, how can I show up to some place that I've never been before? And I feel like I need an extensive guide just to be there. But she said again, just go and find out. And I did that. And it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. If I had not put myself in that situation that made me anxious, I wouldn't have grown to be this person. You need to put yourself in situations. These challenging moments inspire us to grow as people, should you choose to accept them. Because of what I did at the book fair, I've grown more confident, capable, and resilient. And in turn, I was able to impact those around me. I value my free time a lot, or generally my time. I work long hours, and then the commute back home is long, and by the time I'm home, I'm very tired. So when I make that choice, I choose to give my time and dedicate it to volunteering. I'm giving away something of great value. And that is my contribution. There are many different types of volunteering. It could be community and sports events where you help guide and facilitate. There are charity events like Ni'ma, where you organize and pack boxes. Whatever you choose to partake in counts as a contribution to society, because you can't do anything worth doing by yourself. So when you show up, you give your time, you connect with others, and grow from it. You are being an active citizen in a society that is socially responsible, inclusive, empowered, and supportive of others. So put yourself in situations and just go. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Faiza. We finished that session and we are leaving with a lot of call of actions from our speakers.